So what did we discuss last class for the advanced admin flows?
We did a schedule trigger flow, ma'am.
Schedule trigger flow. So flows. Click on new flow. Okay, we have done with the screen flow, schedule triggered flow, record triggered flow. Let's see today platform event triggered flow. Okay. So what is platform event triggered flow? What is platform event trigger? So before we understand the platform event trigger flow, we have to get a, we have to understand what is the platform event. What is the platform event? And what is the platform event trigger? So basically platform event trigger is, why do we use this? So what is this platform event? It is a event based communication. It is event based communication provided by Salesforce. Platform event is a event based communication. This is used for the communication and which is provided by Salesforce. So this is main use case is, what is the main use case of platform is integration purpose. Integrations to communicate, in order to implement the communication between within the Salesforce, outside of the Salesforce. So this is an event-based communication provided by Salesforce, and we use this mostly for the integration purpose. So when I say integration purpose, so MuleSoft is talking to Salesforce, or multiple systems are talking to Salesforce, or multiple communications are happening within the Salesforce with the other Salesforce, or multiple communications are happening with the Salesforce and other systems. In those scenarios, we use the platform event. So platform events are similar to the Salesforce object. Platform events are similar to the Salesforce object. Like we have a Salesforce custom object, right? So we can create a custom object. But the difference between the custom object and platform is no UI view. We will not have a UI view. That means I cannot see the platform event records. We cannot see platform event. Like whenever we create a custom object in Salesforce, if I go to the any other object, like if I, for example, I have created a custom object, right? And after creating the custom objects and fields, what we will do it, we will go to the custom object and we can see the data here. There is a UI for it. So this is a UI which is implemented, right? This UI will be there for the custom object, but platform event, you will not have the UI and no page layout. No page layout for the platform event. We will not be able to see the platform events through the UI. Platform events through UI. No page layout and we cannot see the platform events through the UI. But a developer will be able to publish the platform events through flows or Apex. UI is not there, page layout is not there, but still we have a flexibility but developer will be able to publish the platform event through flows or Apex, or let's say API, the integration part. And once it is published, subscriber can also done, like publish also can be done through the flows and Apex, as well as subscribe also can be done flow and Apex. But here, once it is published, once I publish my data, okay, once I publish the event, it will be available in the queue for 72 hours. That means once I push my changes or once I publish my changes, once developer publish the event, initially it will be sitting in the queue. But how long will it be there in the queue? It will be there. It will be available in queue for 72 hours. After 72 hours, you will not be able to see in the queue. For 72 hours, it will sit in the queue. And when we publish the event, then external system able to subscribe the event. That can automatically happen. So subscribe can be happen automatically. Let's say, for example, we have a Hiraku. Hiraku is another system. Hiraku is another system, or let's say Mule. Mule is also another system. Okay, so this Hiraku is talking to Salesforce. Also, it is talking to the Oracle. Also, it is talking to the ERP system. Let's assume that there is another system, ERP. So whenever it is talking to Salesforce, like it is a real-time communication which is happening between the Mule and Salesforce. Whenever the active communication happens between the Mule and Salesforce or other system, we wanted to send a notification to the users or whoever is the record owner is there. We wanted to send a notification to saying that, okay, there is a record has been created or record has updated by Mule. We wanted to send a notification. And as soon as the record is created in the Salesforce or as soon as the record is updated in the Salesforce, then we wanted to send a notification to the user. Now these are the real-time communications. These are real-time communications. So whenever the real-time communications happens through the platform event, we can immediately send a notification. So let's say in another direction. So I have something called, which is we call in the real time, this is an event bus. This is an event bus. This is an event bus. And whoever is registering the event, whoever is registering the event, when I say registering the event, publishing the platform event or publishing the event. Whoever is nothing but it could be a flow or it could be a Apex or it could be a API. Anybody can do publish the event. So whoever is publishing the event in real time scenario, what we call them is event producer. Event producer. We call them event producer. So when the event producer done, whenever we publish the event, what will happen? The event message, the event, what are the messages are there? It sits in the queue, and this is mediated, the bus will be available. Now from the bus, they will take whoever is subscribing the platform event, they will get it from this bus. And we call them as an event consumer. They are event consumer. Who are the event consumer? Event consumers are whoever is subscribed the platform event. Whoever is subscribed the platform event. And there are two types of platform events are there. Two types of platform events. One is we can publish after the commit. Publish the after commit. And next one is publish immediately. Publish immediately. So when I say after commit, publish after commit is nothing but once the record is created, okay, and once it is successfully created in the database. Successfully created in the database. Now let's suppose that there is some action happened on the record. Action on record. Either it is inserted or it is updated. Some action happened on the record. And once the action is happened on the record, then it has to be committed to the database. That means a transaction is successfully saved into the database. Transaction is successfully saved into the database. Successfully committed. Now, once it is committed, that means once the data is successfully saved into the database, then we are going to fire a platform event here. Then we are going to fire a platform event. That means platform event, we are going to publish the platform event. We are going to publish the platform event. There is some action happened on the record and it is submitted into the database. And once it is submitted into saved into the database, then I'm going to fire the event, or I'm going to publish the event to the consumer. This flow is for publish after commit. Publish after commit. So this is one behavior. This is one behavior. Two types of publish behavior. The first one is publish after commit. When I say publish immediately, what will happen? There is an action happened on the record. Okay. It doesn't matter whether it is saved successfully or not, it doesn't matter. That means as soon as it is done, as soon as the record action is done on the record, whether transaction is completed successfully or failure. Completed. It is transaction is completed, but we do not know whether it is successfully completed or it is failed. When it is failed, it is going to throw an error on the UI, but it doesn't matter for the publish immediately. Just it is going to check whether transaction is completed. I do not want to listen to the result. I do not want to know whether it is a successful or failure. I do not want to listen. I simply wanted to publish the event. Whatever happens, I just wanted to publish it. So which is publish after, publish immediately. This is publish immediately. This is when it is useful. Publish immediately is in the real time. This is mainly used for whenever we are receiving the events from the third-party system. Whenever we are receiving the events from the third-party system, whether it is error or successful, if it is an error, we wanted to track those errors and store it into the one object, those errors. So in those scenarios, we use the publish platform event. So what will happen, for example, I'm receiving a records from the mule. Okay, if it is successful, perfect, that all good. But if it is something has failed and the record is not inserted, that comes from the mule, the record is not inserted. And we wanted to track those records. Once the transaction is completed, we wanted to see what are the records are failed. Okay, so in that case, what I'll do is I'll use the platform event to check whether it is an error is happened. Okay, platform event is going to fire immediately and say that, okay, there is some error happened, go and submit this error into the some object. So in those scenarios, we use the publish immediately. We are going to use publish immediately. Okay, these are the two behaviors. Now let's go to the actual flow. Let's go to the setup. Now in setup, in the quick find, search for platform event. Search for platform event. Now click on this platform event. This is inside the integration. Use the platform events to define the data to be delivered in custom notification. So platform events are just used for the notification purpose. So now in the platform event, the first thing before creating the flow, I just have to create a new platform event. Okay, so let's say that, for example, my platform event name is notification events or notification event, and plural, I use the events, notification events. And here is the publish behavior, publish immediately, publish after commit. So I'll use the after commit. Now I can I'll select the deployed because I'm done with the development. Let's click on a save. There is nothing much. So my object is created, right? For the custom object, it is a __C. For the platform event, it is __E. The object name is ends with __e. Now we have the standard fields, which is a created by and created date, event UID, replay ID. That should be fine. Now let me go ahead and create a new custom field here. We can create a custom field in platform event only for the data type, which is a checkbox, date, date time, number, text, text area. Only these 6 types we can create a platform event custom fields. So let's check the text area. Let's use that. Click on next. And I'll say that message. We are going to pass the message into this. Let's click on save. Now one field is created. Also, I'll create another field, which is a source. Basically, source is the one I just wanted to track from which source the platform event is published. So I just wanted to track those information. For that, what I'll do is I'll just create another text field. So let's say that this is the field label is source. Okay, and let's give the 255 length. Let's click on save. Now we have in the platform event, we have two fields, custom fields, message and source. Message and source. Perfect. Now this is how we create a platform event. Creation is simple. I'm saying home, and let's click on the platform event. On the platform event, click on the new platform event. Then give your platform event, decide the behavior, whether it is after commit or immediately. Okay, ideally we will take after commit. Once it is committed to the database, then we will take it. So once it is created the object, then decide what are the fields that needed. In the field, we can create only 6 type of data types. There is no relationship. We cannot make any master lookup, any relationship, we cannot make it. Just a checkbox, date, date time, number, text, text area. That's it. Because this is going to store only the message information. This is going to store message information. Now let's go here. We have something called chatter. Now for now, what I'll do is I'm not using the MuleSoft. So assume that as soon as the data received to the Salesforce, as soon as our data is received to the Salesforce, then I'm going to post a notification on Chatter. I'm going to post a notification on Chatter. On Chatter, I'm going to post it. So for this, what I'll do is I'll create a separate Chatter group for me. I'll create a separate Chatter group. Because this group is, I created one group. This group is only for to know platform event messages. This group is only for platform event messages. Okay, so all the notification sits into this group. So what I'll do is, in order to create a group, I'll go to the Chatter, and we have a recent groups. Okay, and there click on a plus button. Now now it is going to ask me the new group details. Now let's say that this is a MuleSoft integration. MuleSoft integration. Now that's it. We have if you want to give a description, we can give it. But if you wanted to leave that, that should be all fine. Now we have information. If you wanted to give any information for this group, it's just information. And then we have owner details, who is creating this group. Then access type. Do you wanted to give the access type as a private, only to only for you to see the messages, or do you want to give the access to others to see the message? So we always use the either public or private. It's up to you. If it is a real time and if the client wants these messages, we can show them as a public. But ideally, just for your information to track whether the platform event is processed perfectly or not, if you wanted those information, you can use the private. For now, we just need the information. I do not want any other members wanted to see these messages. And this group also, I do not wanted to make, I do not wanted to see anybody. It's similar like a WhatsApp groups. Okay. So we can create a group, right? And we can give the access, whether it is, we wanted to give the all the access to everybody, only for me or only for few members, like that. So access type is private. This is in case if you wanted to allow customers or broadcast only. Now click on save next. Now this is the image. I should be fine with the image. Now, okay. In case if I wanted to add any other members, okay. Let's suppose I have a Rohit, I have a couple there. But before that, I wanted to see what are their admins. Let's go to the users. Rohit Kapoor is a chatter-free user and Devfix, okay. Kapil Dev is a system admin. Okay, I have right now these two are different profile. That is good. So Rohit Kapoor is chatter-free user and this is Kapil is system administrator. So I'll add both of them. Okay, let's click on done. Perfect. The group is created. MuleSoft integration group is created. Okay, there is no engagement, no charter, nothing is there. Just now we have created this. So how many members are there in this group? There are 3 members are there. Kapil, Rohit and T1. 3 members are there in this group. Now I have a group is ready. Now I created the group is ready. What all things we did right now? We created the platform event. We created a group, because through the platform event, what are the notifications that are going to happen? It will happen only inside this group. Now let me go ahead and create a flows. For flows, what I'll do is I'll just implement something, assume that I'm receiving something to Salesforce. So we do not have Hiraku or MuleSoft. We will do customization here. Customization means from the Apex, I'll try to publish the event. From the Apex, we'll try to publish the event. So right now we do not have a Hiraku, so I'm going to do it from the Apex. So from the Apex, I'm going to publish the event. So assume that that event is coming to the Salesforce. As soon as it comes to the Salesforce, I'm going to throw a notification or chatter post, where I'm going to throw a chatter notification inside the group. We have a group called MuleSoft integration. So there is a group called MuleSoft integration. We have MuleSoft integration. So using the MuleSoft integration, I'm going to post the notification here. Clear? Is requirement is clear? All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the new flow. So we are going to use for the platform event triggered flow. Now let's click on a create. As soon as create, it is going to create a platform event triggered flow. Platform event triggered flow. Now go ahead and click on this, choose the platform event. Which platform event are you expecting here? So for us,
Notification event.
yes, we have created the notification event. Right now we created the notification event. So let's go ahead and give this notification event. Okay. So the notification event platform event triggered flow is created. That is perfect. So whatever comes, it comes to the notification event. Now here at the plus button, let's click on action. What are we going to publish?
Post to chatter.
Post to chatter. So when I post to chatter, I can, let's give a name here. New chatter notification. Here what I'll use is, I'll use the record. We have a notification event record. So inside this record, we have something called message. So I'll use that message as well as I'll use the record. We have another one is source. Another one is source field is there. So I'll use the source. Perfect. I'm printing the message as well as the source. Now target name ID, where the target name, where I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it into this group. So copy this group, go to the here, and let's keep that. That is the ID. Now here is the problem. If I give the ID for this org, this is the ID. Let's assume that we have implemented a flow by giving the hard-coded ID inside the target name. And it is working perfectly fine into the dev org. Now we have to push the changes to the UAT org or QA org. When we have to push the changes to the QA org, in QA org, the group ID will be changed. It won't be this one. It will be changed. Right, whenever we create a new group in the another org, this ID gets changed. So that means, am I supposed to modify the flow every time? Is it a best practice? No, do not use this hard-coded ID here. It's not a best practice. Instead of that, what we can do is, you can go to the custom label. You can go to the custom label. Inside the custom label, let's click on the new label and give the value here and say this is MuleSoft group ID. MuleSoft group ID. And click on save. So now if I move the changes to other org, I need not to touch the flow. I can simply modify my 18-digit ID because 18-digit ID is various from, it changes from org to org. So simply I can come to the custom label. I can change it here. Now I can use that inside this flow. So how can I use? I cannot see that right now. Label.
A dollar label.
Dollar label. I cannot see that. Let me go ahead and copy this MuleSoft group ID and then label dot. Let's use this. It is not taking. Okay, fine. Let me save this. This is,
You have to take the API name.
no, I have to refresh it because flow, after opening the flow, we created the custom label. So whatever the latest it is created, flow doesn't take. Now for this API name is also same and description is also same. Okay, now let me refresh this. Okay, now let's go to the action. Post to charter and MuleSoft. MuleSoft notification. Okay, and here we'll use the record dot message and then space we'll use, instead of here message we'll use the source. Okay, now the target name is label dot. Now we can see MuleSoft group ID. Now I can select that. Now once the MuleSoft group ID is selected, next thing is that experience cloud site ID. We do not need all of those. And advanced, if you want to manually assign something, you can assign it. But for now, done. Okay. Now here, in case if it is a first time it did not post the notification, there is some issue happened, it did not happen. So what we can do is we can use the add fault. Add fault. So that means first time if it is the error happened, then I wanted to retry the post. To retry the post. So let's say that this is a retry notification. Okay, so here I'll be using the same record dot, but I need to change. Okay, record dot message, and then let's say I'll just give a message here instead of message source, because we can identify what is the difference there. Now here this is label dot MuleSoft group ID tab. If it is still an error, then add a fault path. So we can keep on doing it, like how many times we want, we can do that. Let's click on save. And the version 1, we do not have a debug. Let's go ahead and activate it first. Now activate. Now it is activated. Now the next thing is the testing. After testing, I need to publish something from the Apex. So let's go to the developer console. Debug open. Can somebody go on mute? So from the Apex, how to publish it? Copy the API name of the platform event. Copy the API name of the platform event. How do we initialize the custom object? Same way we have to initialize the platform event. Equal to new the object name. This is the initialization. Now, it is similar like custom object. How do we set the field values in the custom object after the initialization? You will say account dot name equal to Samskar ID, right? So that's how you will do it, right? How do you do it? Like, for example, you have to initialize it. Account ACC equal to new account. right? And ACC dot name equal to Sam, and ACC dot phone number equal to, you will say some number. Let's say email. Let's take the email equal to sam@gmail.com. Insert ACC. This is how you do it, right? For creating the record, email is not there. ACC.email. Let's go ahead and see what are the, here it is, account. And let's click on the new account. What are the mandatory fields? Account name is a mandatory field. That's all. And I do not have an email. So what I'll do is I'll take the industry. Banking. Okay. So industry. Let's take the API name for the industry. So industry equal to banking, right? So I have initialized here. I have initialized the account here, and we are giving the name and industry to this ACC, and then we are inserting the account. So what will happen if I try to execute this? It will be executed, and there is a new record that's created. Right. So this is the one which is created right now. Let's go to the detail. Created is 8:16, 7:18 p.m. So this is not not India time. This is a US time, 7:18 p.m. Okay. So this is what it is created right now. Same way how we create in the custom object. Same thing what we have to do, event dot what are the fields we have? We have a
Message source, message and source.
message equal to, let's say that this is a long text area. So this is simple message from developer. This is simple message from developer through Apex. And then let's keep next event dot, we have a sources equal to Salesforce Apex. Let's take out this. Okay. This is a simple message from developer and sources Salesforce Apex. Now here, in order to publish the event, here we use the insert. Insert is but to create a record. To create a record in Salesforce, because account has a UI view and account has the page layout. As soon as it is inserted, I can see the record in the page layout, right? UI can be visible. For the platform, we cannot see the UI, we cannot see the record. Now, how to publish from the Apex? How to publish from the Apex? So basically what we have to use is, we have something called event bus. We have event bus, right? In order to publish, we have to use the event bus dot publish. Event bus dot publish is the method. Inside the publish method, we have to pass the event. This is how we do it. Event bus is the class inside the Salesforce. Inside the Salesforce, event bus is the class. Dot publish, we are going to publish the event. Which event we are going to publish it? The one which is created on top, we are going to publish it. So as soon as you publish it, if you have a question, where can I see? Because there is no UI, there is no page layout, nothing is there. So where can I see? So in order to see how the after the publish, what are the things are happening it, the best way to see the platform event is debug. Inside the debug, let's go to the debug. Debug, go to the debug logs and click on the new debug. Now when we click on a new debug, there are a couple of things in the here. Traced entity type. Traced entity type. If you wanted to debug for the specific user, you can click on the user. But right now we are doing the platform event, which is automated process, which is automated process. So what we can do is I can click on the automated process. I'm just giving it for the couple of minutes, 30 minutes. Now, where do I wanted to log the level? So we can use the SFDC developer console. What are the logs you have? Debug levels. You can click on. Now click on save. So now the process automated is created from when 7:22 to 7:52 p.m. Now let me go ahead and highlight this part. Execute the highlighted one. Unexpected 113. Okay, semicolon is missing. Now highlight this, execute the highlighted one. Now it's published. Now let me go ahead and refresh. Get created one automated process view. So what it happened? It happened. MuleSoft integration it took. There is nothing on the platform event, only flow is there. So that's the reason. It executed only the flow. Okay, flow interview started, interview ended. Then we have a custom label. I think now it should be there in the here. Let's refresh the chatter. Okay, so this is a simple message from developer Salesforce Apex, right? So the flow has executed and it is printed the message. Where is the flow? Okay, this is the flow. So the flow got executed and it printed the first one only. So retry one, why I'm saying retry one did not execute it, because we just printed the message. We did not print the source. So right now I could see the source is also coming, Salesforce Apex. 1 minute ago. Clear everybody, platform event. Triggered flow. Okay. So better I'll ask, what was the business scenario? Because right now, whatever we have done. What is the business scenario?
post a message to the chatter when there is an event occurred in the platform, when there is a platform event occurred through Apex.
When a platform event fires, then okay, post a chatter message to the group as soon as platform event fires, right? Is it correct, the business scenario, or wrong? Puneet? Is that correct scenario or not? Puneet, are you there? Vivek?
Yeah, it's a correct scenario.
Okay. So post a charter message to the group as soon as the platform event is fired. Now, what are the steps that we have done right now in order to achieve this business scenario?
First, we have to create a platform event, like as the object we create into the Salesforce.
The first one is create a platform event. How to create a platform event?
Go to the setup in quick find type platform. So under integrations, we can find platform event.
Platform event. And then create it. Okay. Next.
Now requirement is to post it into the chatter. So we have to create a chatter group.
Okay. Inside the platform event, do we have to do anything?
Yeah, we have to create the fields.
Creating fields. What are the fields that we created right now?
Message and source.
Message, source. And the next one is
Create a group in the chatter.
Group.
Raj, what is the next one? Raj, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, what is the next one?
Then we need to create a chatter group. We need to create.
Creating charter group. For creating the charter group, what we did?
We went into service and then we
went to the chatter tab and then we created a group.
okay.
Charter tab. Clicked on the plus button. Recent groups. Then created the charter. Now inside, after creating the charter, any other step we have done it?
We added users
add members into the group. Okay. Next. What is the next step, Srinivas? What is the next step, Srinivas? What is the next step, Venkatesh? What did we create? What is the next step that we created?
We created a flow.
Create the flow.
What type of flow?
Platform event
Platform
trigger.
event trigger.
Platform event flow. Okay. Inside the flow, what we did? Inside the flow, what we did?
We specified the platform event that we created. Platform event name that we created.
Provide the platform event name. And then
Or then select the action,
which
Post to
type of
chatter.
action?
post to chatter.
Okay. And the next we have activated the flow. Okay. After that, how do we tested it?
Then to the developer console.
Okay. Is everybody able to
Initializing the-
understand? Yeah, Venkatesh.
Initializing the platform event.
I cannot hear you. Can you repeat that?
Initializing the platform event.
Still not clear. Others are able to hear Venkatesh or only me?
Even I'm not able to hear now.
Initializing the platform event, notification event. Sorry.
Okay, so developer console, from the developer console, we have to file this publish event bus dot publish the event. Once it is published, in order to debug. For next, in order to debug, what we have to do?
So go to setup, debug
Setup,
logs,
debug logs,
and create a new log.
Change the users to automation.
what is that called? Developer type.
Traced entity type.
Traced entity type. In the traced entity type to Which one?
Automated process.
Okay. After firing the event.bus publish, we can see the logs in the debug. Now, once it is fired, then where we can see the message?
In the chatter tab.
The one which is created above. Can see the message. Clear? Any questions on the platform event?
Can tomorrow we could take another example, like running the platform on through the flows?
I'll give you a scenario, okay, one example, okay? Because I do not see what is the, there is just a straightforward. Most of the things are which we have to do is configuration part. The flow is very simple. Flow is only 2 steps are there. Or probably there will be a 10 steps. Flow will be easy, but the thing is that the configuration which we have to do is more. Okay, I'll take another example tomorrow, but understand this. What we have done so far, for creating a flow, we just spent 10 minutes.
Okay.
We just spent a 10 minutes for creating a flow. Rest all the things are we did configuration. Rest all our configuration, creating a charter group, creating the platform event, and firing the event from the Apex. Everything we did it from the configuration. We did not spend much time on the flow. That means we need to understand what is the business scenario and what are the configuration that we have to do. If you see 1, 2, 3, everything is configuration. And 5 to 6, 7 is also configuration and debug part. Only this is the one which we have done, created the flow. Rest all are set up. What should be there? What needs to happen after my flow? Right? So what are the configuration should be there before the flow? What needs to be happen after the flow? That is main important here for the platform event flow.
Actually, I have gone through the platform event documentation, and there was the one line that is, these flows are also run asynchronously.
Yes.
So asynchronously means you have mentioned the 2 types, right, for the flows. So how could we run this flow asynchronously means which comes in which type? Like
Asynchronous, that you have to decide. Now, what is the asynchronous? What is asynchronous here? Asynchronous is basically when we are having multiple records at a time processing it. Multiple records processing at a time. Now the example which we have taken is one record, one flow. So when we have a multiple records, in between this, you have to go through the loop. Okay, flow we can make it as a synchronous, asynchronous both. We will see that tomorrow, how to do that. Okay. I'll show you how to do that asynchronous one and which behavior we should take it.
okay. Actually, I have one more question regarding to the record trigger flow.
One thing, whenever you are creating if you have a question only on the behavior, I can give you which one to take it. So if your question is related to only on the behavior, it is based on the business scenario. Let's say the business scenario is we are receiving the records from third-party system, or we are receiving the records from the ERP system, or there is an update is happening from the third-party system. Whenever the bunch of records are coming from the third-party system, if we wanted to track what all the records are failed. So what I can do, what are the records are failed is publish immediately. Because I wanted to track everything. Success I wanted to track, error also I wanted to track. Because once that post is done, once that push is done to the Salesforce, at the end of the day, I wanted to open that object and see how many records are failed, so that those records we can try to reprocess from the third-party system to Salesforce. In that scenario, I can use the publish immediately. But if you have a scenario, okay, if you have a scenario to send a notification or to send to create another object records based on the current records. Right now, we are receiving the patient information from the third-party system. Okay. Once the patient record is created in the Salesforce, if I wanted to create another record of the maybe bill payment for the in-house patients, for the inpatients. So in that scenario, what I have to do, first I have to insert the patient record inside the Salesforce. Once the patient record is created, then only I can generate a bill for that record. In those scenarios, I have to use the publish after commit. Now here I cannot say straightforward for the asynchronous use publish after commit or publish immediately. I cannot say that. It's again based on the business scenario, business cases. In real time, we use publish immediately for the error logging. We will be having some object which is called as a error log, which is going to track everything. Like if I receive 10,000, 20,000, what are the records I receive it, I'm going to track everything into the error log object. So later what I can do is I can generate a report and see how many are failed, how many are success. That I can use it. For asynchronous, I can also use the publish after complete. But that is again based on the scenario. The scenario says that create another record upon inserting or upon updating the record from the third-party system. Clear, Sushmita?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So
Actually,
everything is based on the business scenario. Okay. I cannot guarantee that you have to use only this, you have to use only this. I cannot say that.
so it's simply the platform event occurs at the time this platform event flow will be run. Actually,
Yes.
I have another question also regarding to the record trigger flow. If I want to run record trigger flow through the button or the action, is it possible?
Why you wanted to use the button through the, see, first of all, both are different concept. Record triggered flow. So when will happen the record triggered flow? The record trigger flow is automatically fired. As soon as the record is inserted or updated, that is going to fire it.
Yeah, yes.
So button concept is altogether different.
Now it's for the update. Let's take it for the update.
For the update also, this is going to auto fire. You do not need a button for the record triggered flow. Why do we want to create a button? Like, what is the business scenario? Tell me that business
Now
scenario.
let's take, we have to like, whenever we have for the record update, we have to create one button and through that, this record trigger flow should get called and the automation should done.
No, in that case, if your business scenario says that you have to create a button On clicking on the button, you have to execute some logic. Then this is not the right flow. Either this, I would suggest to use this auto launch flow.
Okay.
Because record
And
triggered
how
flow,
many?
record triggered flow doesn't need anything. It directly gets the data from the database, Salesforce database, it gets the information. Record triggered flow is always gets the data from Salesforce database. It doesn't look for action event. It doesn't look for the event there. It looks for save, cancel, commit, rollback. These are the ones. That's the reason whenever we are creating this, we see only either created or updated or deleted. So on this only it is going to fire it. But button doesn't tell you. Button does not tell you. Button is just a action click. On click of the button does not give the information whether it is a created record or whether it is updated record or whether it is a deleted record. Button does not give me the information. Button work is just clicking a button. That's it. So for that, clicking a button, we should not be using the record triggered flow. That is a altogether. Button is a different concept. The record triggered flow is a different concept. If you wanted to use a flow on clicking on the button, then go with the different type. Different type of flow, you can use it. Do not use the record triggered flow on the button click. Do not use the platform event flow on the button click. Now screen flow, you can try it. Okay. And auto launch flow, you can try it. Do not use the scheduled triggered flow on the button click, because this is a scheduled one.
Okay. Like how many record trigger flow per object we can create?
How many record triggered flow? You can create more than one, but it is better to go with the one record triggered flow. It's similar like a trigger per object. So same thing, one flow, one triggered flow per object is the best way.
And maximum is like the best way, but how maximum we can create?
Maximum, if I remember, did I mention any time maximum record triggered flow?
No.
But I did not see anything. Let's go ahead and search. A record triggered flow. Okay. As far as I follow is one per object, but I do not know how many we can create it. I created for one of the scenario which I have seen in one of the project. We created almost 10 flows we created, but that is not a best practice because right now we are struggling to identify which flow is having the issue.
Okay.
No, I do not have that. How many? There is, I don't think so. There is a limit for the maximum record trigger flow.
That means it's always with the best practice to create one record trigger flow for one object.
Yes, one per one object.
Like as a trigger, right?
Yeah, similar like a trigger. Because we have a scenario for one of the project, other developers created, like in that project, developers are keep on changing. So whoever comes, they are creating the new one. Whoever comes, they are creating the completely new one. So like that, they created around 10 flows they created, and each flow is not this small. Each flow has a big logic. Now it is failing in the production. We are struggling to find out which flow is actually throwing an error. Because in 10 flows, few of the conditions are similar. So that's the reason per object, one flow per object is the best.
So in that condition, can you provide the order of like execution for the flows? Like you have to.
Yes, you can do that. But still, it is because your previous flow is having some error. That's the reason next flow might be giving the error, right?
Right.
Previously, your error is coming on the flow number 9. But why it is happening in the flow number 9? It is probably some scenarios what happened in flow number 8. We are doing some updates. After that, it started executing the flow number 9. As soon as it started the flow number 9, it failed. Now what the developer does keep on debugging into the flow number 9. He doesn't look at the flow number 8. Now it takes a lot of time, lot of effort to identify where exactly the issue. Then they will come to know because of flow 8, then we are getting the flow 9 error. So that's all complicated scenarios will be there. So if you wanted to go with that struggle, let's go ahead and implement the flow. But that is a big pain and nightmare for few developers. So I would suggest per object, one flow per object is the best. Do not go with
Okay. And how could we define the order of execution? Is
yes, you
there
can.
any scenario?
Yes, you can do that. So if you click on the flow, okay, let's go ahead. There is something schedule triggered flow. Let's go ahead, free flow. Okay. Let's go to the hiring manager. And here we have a flow trigger. Now we created here 3 flows. Okay. Now flow trigger explorer, where it took us. Okay. So click on this flow trigger explorer. This is a Aura component which is implemented in the Lightning. Now this is the order. Okay. Now there is nothing in the fast failed update and run asynchronously. There is nothing is there. But in the action and related records, we have 3 flows are there. 1 is inactivated and 2 are activated. For example, you wanted to execute this one first, then create it. Edit the order and then move this to the first one. Okay. So first it will execute the send an email hiring, then it will execute the create a recurring, and then this is a inactive. So if you wanted to activate it, you have to open the flow and activate it. So you can order it and then update. It will give you some information because you have updated the order. So when you updated the order, what are the things it is going to happen? So review your changes because you cannot immediately undo this update. It will take some time. Now, when you are doing the reorder, you have to check first the logic inside the flow. Because if you are doing the reorder and initially it was creating a recruiting is the first one and send an email is the second one. If you change the send an email to first one and creating a recruit is the second one, there is probably the scenario is creating a recruit is updating some field and that field is referenced here. Okay, so in those scenarios, it is going to impact your entire logic and it will break for the users. So look at your flow and then reorder it. And definitely you can do whatever the order of execution you want for the flows. You can do this here.
To the hiring manager.
Yeah,
Right?
this is on the hiring manager object because flow is based on the object. Flow is not a like a multiple objects or no. Flow is implemented on the object level. Okay, this is on the record is created. We have record is updated, anything is there, record is updated, nothing is there. The record is deleted, anything is there, nothing is there. Only we have on the record is created. How did we open this? We went to the hiring manager object and we clicked on the flow triggers and we could see there are three flows are there. And like this in our project, we have a 10, 11 flows are there. Now it is struggling because we have some third-party system. We are receiving the messages from the third-party system. Now it is breaking this record. So we are trying to identify where is the problem. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, like in the screen flow, it debug like perfectly. But while the time of execution, like I'm running it, uh, it's like throwing the error, like system administration and like sometimes likewise error. So what could be the problem here?
See, one thing, problems are never standard, never static problems, which is like a always I cannot say this is the problem. That is not possible. Problems are way it's different to different. Like I cannot say this is the problem there. Okay, that is the first thing. So when you debug, you are able to debug the things properly, right?
Yes. Yes.
But when you go for the screen, you are saying that there is an issue.
Yes.
What is the profile you have?
It's the system administration only.
For you, for the screen also, you are doing the profile system admin.
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to capture the error?
Yeah, actually, I just forgot the error that was coming, but it's regarding to the system, like it's showing there, like,
What it is showing? The unhandled error?
yes.
Use the something called a fault error message. Okay. Instead of unhandled error, in the screen flow, we have something called fault error message. Let me take one. Guys, I have a call in 1 minute. So for example, here, we did a fault error message, right? Let me show you that. Platform event. What was the flow that we created right now?
Create. New contact, I guess.
MuleSoft integration. So in MuleSoft integration, we have something called here fault, right? So
Okay.
Here, when you click on, and then you can take a here one more screen. Here it is not, the screen will be there. Inside the screen, you can take a fault message, fault error message. There is a fault error message. So in that fault error message, you can get what is the exact error, because unhandled error is, we cannot understand what is the error that is happening it. Okay, so what I would suggest is after the fault, give a fault there. Okay, after the fault, take a screen component. Inside the screen component, put a display text. Okay, inside the display text, use the fault error message. Clear?
Oh.
And the another way of understanding is put a debug on your name.
Yes.
And once it is error, then you will see. But better one is using the fault error message, because as soon as you click on a next, it is directly going to show you what is exact error that is happening instead of unhandled error. Probably there is a permission issue or field issue, could be anything. Okay, so I have a call. So let's take one more example here. I wanted to implement. Sorry, there was a power cut. So what I was saying is, there is an assignment, same assignment. Post a chatter group message. Chatter group name is Hiraku integration. As soon as the platform event is fires. Okay, I have to leave now. If there are any questions, we'll take it tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.